patients do you have here every day?
About 500 patients.
500?
Yes.
Every day?
Every day.
Do you have enough medicine?
It's not enough for them.
What are the main problems that the children are having?
The main problem is malnourishment.
Malnutrition?
Yes, because of lack of milk.
Can they buy milk in the market?
In the market, it's very, very high cost.
For the Kurds, like everyone else in the country, it is the 15th month of sanctions, first imposed to force Iraq out of Kuwait. But measures imposed to pressure a dictator are taking an unfortunately harmful toll, the UN reports, on his worst enemies. How many refugees are in this zone?
It's about 500,000 refugees here. Diana Dispensary, about 70,000 people. I deal with them.
You deal with 70,000 people?
Yes.
Dr. Salam Mohammed Sultan runs the clinic in the small town of Diana in the far northeast of Iraq. He is short of everything he needs and says that almost none of the aid promised from the outside has arrived. How many doctors are there now in this zone where you've got a problem of roughly 500,000 refugees?
About 8 doctors.
8 doctors.
Yes.
8 doctors for
8
everybody.
doctors, yes. Kurdish doctors. And from NGOs, 2 to 3.
So just a few foreign doctors.
Yes.
And 8 Kurdish doctors. Have you received much help from the United States?
No.
The most urgent need here is for shelter. Private aid groups have promised it. The UN has promised it. Little has arrived. So in Diana, have a lot of refugees come back to Diana and are just sleeping wherever they can?
Yes, but winter here is very, very cold. They can't sleep outside.
Where will they go in the cold weather?
They can't go to any place because there is no place to go.
We found some refugees crowded into schools. They knew they would soon have to leave. How many children does she have?
Some of them.
3 children. How many families are living in all the schools in Diana?
In Diana, every school, about 100 families.
100 families.
Yes.
We're going to have to find another place within 2 weeks.
Yes.
Hundreds of thousands of refugees are now squatting in the rubble of what were once Kurdish villages. Any day now they will face heavy rains followed by freezing temperatures and snow.
I've heard U.S. officials describe that our goal now is to get the Kurds to go back to their cities and to their villages. But the fact is that there are no villages in Iraqi Kurdistan, and there have been no villages since 1988. More than 4,000 villages have been destroyed. This is truly a war-ravaged region. There is no agriculture. For many people, there's no place to go home. But the critical issue is, that, of course, that there's no protection.
What happens to these villagers who come back to the ruins of their old villages, villages that have been destroyed in some cases 10, 15 years ago? What'll happen to them this winter?
Some of them are going to receive help from the international community through the UN shelter program. Some of them will inevitably have to remain in their tents, especially those that are camped in the valleys. And those that are on the mountains and that won't get help will have to leave their tents on the rubbles and for the winter come down to the valley.
In more tents?
In more tents.
Do you regard this crisis as being over?
It isn't over yet. In a way, it is a part of the Gulf War, and it's not about to be over.
After the bombing campaign and the failed rebellion, the third phase of the war goes on, economic sanctions. Iraq is not allowed to export oil to earn cash or to import goods. The country has been effectively cut off as a means to keep up pressure on Saddam Hussein. UN sanctions consigned 18 million people to bear that pressure too. What has a year of sanctions done to this country?
It has destroyed the agricultural sector. It has affected the public health and caused a tremendous increase in the child deaths. The economic sector of the country is finished. We've never had an emergency or a disaster that affected a population of 18 million people.
Because of sanctions, electricity cannot be fully restored. For now, 2/3 of the power is back on. But, say engineers, it won't last as the plants start breaking down.
Can you keep the plant running now without foreign parts?
It's very difficult. I mean, it's depend on the luck. On luck. If something will happen, break down, we don't have it, we will stop. We take out the unit.
Can't you make the parts yourself?
We'll try very hard. We try. We are sure that we will try very hard. But, you know, there are some parts we cannot do. We are sure. We are sure.
Faik Mustafa is the director of the Aldora power plant, bombed in the war.
Are you working the machinery harder than you would normally do if you didn't have this crisis?
Because we have no spares, yes. Normally we change these parts, but now we have consumed everything. All power plants, not only us. They consumed everything.
So you're at the limit.
Of course.
To repair the whole power plant system would be $20 billion minimum to start with.
$20 billion?
$20 billion to repair the whole power supply system. This would take years.
Power outages are a daily occurrence, and modern services Iraqis used to enjoy are decaying rapidly.
Without the electricity, which is tied in intrinsically to the healthcare system, operations have to be postponed. Elective surgery is all but out, and that includes cases of breast cancer, cases of cesarean section. You're looking at day by day greater public health disaster for the people in Iraq.
On top of that, in hospitals like Karbala General, basic medicine is running out. Dr. Zuhair Al-Yassi says the effects of war and sanctions have been devastating. Now, you're a surgeon.
Yes.
Do you have anesthetics?
No.
Do you have dressings for the operating room?
Very, very little amount.
Do you have gauze?
Again, very little amount, and that's why we are only working on the emergency situations. I mean, we do operations for the emergency cases only. We cannot do any other operation.
Do you have oxygen?
No.
Disinfectants?
No.
Antibiotics?
Very little amount, and we are on the brink of losing them. I mean, I'm finished.
Heart drugs?
No.
Insulin?
No.
What about, you've had some rabies cases here recently.
Yeah.
Anything for rabies?
No, believe me, no.
Right now you're getting some supplies from international organizations.
They are very small and limited. We are using them only for the really needy patients.
Going around the wards, we're only looking at very severe cases, correct?
Correct.
And why do you send the other people home?
We send them because admission of a patient means that you have to supply them with medicine, to supply them with fluids, to supply them with food. I mean, we cannot offer them enough food, and we cannot offer them drug needed for admission. So we admit only the critical people.
If it isn't a severe case,
Yeah.
You don't have enough food in this hospital
Yes.
to feed them.
Yes, that's right.
Since sanctions were imposed in August 1990, food prices have risen an average of 1,000%. The government ration system is on the verge of collapse. The 70% of the food supply Iraq used to buy from abroad is gone. What is on the market is very expensive. How much does one chicken cost?
كم سعر الدجاجة الواحدة؟ 13 dinars for each.
13 dinars for one chicken. That's $39 for one chicken. Do you have your shopping bag?
Yes, I have it.
What's in your shopping bag?
Just grape and some dates.
Grapes and
Date.
grapes and dates.
Yes.
You can't afford eggs?
What?
Can you buy eggs?
No, it's too expensive for me.
Can you buy meat?
No, we have no money to buy anything.
We visited the market in Basra with Moyed Saeed from the UN Children's Emergency Fund.
So how many people is UNICEF, for example, having to feed now in Iraq?
We have to feed 700,000.
700,000 people?
Yeah.
Well, how many does that leave? That's not enough.
It's not enough because all of the people are poor. Most of the people are poor now.
There is not adequate food in the country to meet the food needs of 18 million people.
Local agriculture has all but collapsed. The harvest was down 75% this year, and because of sanctions, farmers do not have the proper seeds they need now to plant the next harvest. They have no insecticides, no pesticides. The animal vaccine plant was bombed in the war.
I see the next step. You might see people selling off their land, selling off their houses in desperation to get food. A food supply that is increasingly becoming more expensive and a food supply that is increasingly becoming more scarce.
Outside a church in Baghdad, they wait for flour, milk, and rice distributed here twice a week by Catholic Relief. According to the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, the shortage of food, which the government can no longer afford to import, will, quote, gradually but inexorably cause massive starvation throughout the country.
I get very concerned because every time I come here, the crowd grows. I get very concerned because every time I come here, the crowd gets more aggressive for food. In this food distribution, we started off with a half truck. Now we're up to 3 trucks. We could be up to 30 trucks, 300 trucks, 3,000 trucks. The need is going to grow. There's going to be more and more people outside the gates here, clamoring, scrambling for food allocations. And it's not just one segment of the population, it's the whole population. The humanitarian relief supplies, the humanitarian assistance amounts to just a trickle of 20 to 50 days of food for the country.
What happens on day 60, day 70, day 80?
That's when you have the beginning of the famine. That's when you have more deaths. Families are totally pawning their carpets, their furniture, their jewelry, their watches, their gold, their silverware, anything that has any kind of values, their cameras, their videos, their TVs, their radios, in order to get cash for food.
How much does a can of baby food cost?
A can of baby food would cost 15 dinars for approximately half a kilo, which is $45.
$45?
Which would be 10% of a family's monthly income, just for 1 can of baby food.
Dr. Ayman Khamas is a resident pediatrician at Basra General Hospital. Over a third of Iraqi children between the ages of 1 and 2 are now malnourished.
Can see. This baby is 1 year old.
How many children are you getting in this hospital with this condition every week?
Every week about 40 to 50. And
40 to 50?
Yes. Not only inpatient, we have outpatient visitors. They came just for supplying with milk formula.
Do you have enough milk to go around for the patients in the hospital and some on the outside?
No, not enough. But we try to help the patient that most needed, like this one. This one need help and treatment, medical treatment, and feeding for more than 2 or 3 months regularly to get again better and recovered.
How many children have died in this hospital in the past few months?
I don't know exactly the number, but I think it is a large number. Because of complications of malnutrition, lost immunity, most of them, and they got septicemia and superadded infection, mostly pneumonia or gastroenteritis with severe dehydration and shock. Most of them died.
What's going to happen in the next few months now if sanctions aren't lifted, if the same supply of food continues?
A larger number of babies will die. Big problem to us, of course.
How many hours do you spend in the hospital every day now?
Most of the time. Most of the time. Just a few hours for my lunch, my dinner, and my sleep. I think more than 18 hours.
I know it's difficult to try and look at figures for the numbers of children who would possibly die as a result of all of this over the next year, but can you make a guess?
I would put a figure of anywhere from 75,000 to 175,000 children could die as a result of what is happening right now in Iraq due to the public health conditions.
Sanctions fall under the authority of the UN Security Council, which has devoted far more attention to Saddam's failure to disclose his nuclear and chemical weapons programs than to conditions of people in Iraq.
The agenda is adopted.
Last July, a special UN team urgently recommended that Iraq be allowed to sell $3 billion worth of oil to buy food and seeds.
23134.
The Security Council went on to authorize Iraq to spend less than a third of what its own UN officials recommended, a reduced sum which an internal UN report called substantially less than the bare minimum requirement.
72/revision 1.
The money must be spent under strict conditions, which the Iraqi government has so far refused to accept. The president justifies sanctions on the grounds that the pressure will drive the Iraqis to get rid of Saddam. But senior U.S. government officials told us in a background briefing that, on the contrary, a popular uprising against Saddam, quote, is the least likely alternative.
Our argument has never been with the people of Iraq. It was and is with a brutal dictator whose arrogance dishonors the Iraqi people. We must keep the United Nations sanctions in place as long as he remains in power. This is not to say that we should punish the Iraqi people.
Any type of UN plan to provide supplies for Iraq through the sale of Iraqi oil is only for food and medicines, basic humanitarian needs. This does not count, for instance, repairing any water plants or repairing any electricity plants to any substantial degree of working order.
So it doesn't solve the problem?
No, it doesn't solve the problem.
President Bush told us, and I think you'll remember this, he said, we are not at war with the people of Iraq.
I don't know.